Welcome everybody. In this video I try to cover a whole range of topics in a short amount of time, and I hope you appreciate that, and if so, you smash a like and become a subscriber to this channel and share this video with some social peers. Now let's jump straight into it. A whole range of topics. First macroeconomics, and then going into some rumors about NIO and acquisitions and thereof and other positive news. But first, speaking about Trump and China, so we got a tweet by the coming president who said that he had a good call with President Xi and there might be new meetings coming up, and the whole tweet really reads quite positive in what he's trying to achieve and how he sees the relationship going forward. And I think it really confirms what I previously said here on the channel, what are my personal expectations around this new administration versus the current Biden administration. And I thought there might be tremendous improvements coming going forward. I still expect there will be a deal between the US and China, and that might not be easy and straightforward. For example, if we talk about tariffs, I know that's first of all a negative, right? But as also discussed in my Patreon community, and what now got leaked out this week as positive news, that these tariffs might get actually into place gradually, step by step. So not 60 or 100% at day one, but instead incremental increases. Therefore, of course, building up pressure, but also giving China time to accommodate for it. So in the end, I think all of that is about a major deal between the US and China, and I still expect the Trump administration to be a whole big positive for Chinese equities in the end on the macroeconomic side. And we got that news on a Friday and had some green in NIO. That's not something that we see all of the time. I think there was some other positive news around that. NIO might actually get included in the Hang Seng Index or indices, and it's not entirely sure yet. It's speculation for now, and also not exactly which part. NIO for now is trading in or listed in some of these indices like the tech index and so on, but it's now about the bigger ones, which will bring more passive flows and trading volume. And I think this is exactly what NIO Stock needs right now, because as there is not a big believer other than retail investors like us currently in NIO Stock, what NIO needs would be some more flows, buying pressure that are flowing into the stock that helps stabilizing the stock. Of course, Hang Seng Index or the Hong Kong Stock Exchange and so on, they have been on a downtrend, but I think they are now starting to recover with possibly those improvements on the macroeconomic side, and also the economy in China in general and so on, more positive data coming out. So long story short, this is exactly what NIO needs in order to defend against some of the malicious short selling that's going on in NIO, some of the hedge funds playing with NIO Stock, and also I think this could pave the way also for some of the Stock Connect flows and so on. In general, this is very positive news. Obviously, if Hong Kong Stock Exchange is going down, then this will drag also NIO along down with it. But I expect over time that these passive flows will be a positive and help NIO to a great extent, and could actually even help now also the mainland investors get some exposure to NIO in the future. So all of that, if it's happening, will be very, very good in my opinion, and prevent some of what's currently happening. The other news around Xiaomi possibly buying NIO. So that was a rumor made up by one of, I think, a Chinese hedge fund. I didn't remember the name right now, but basically they made a top 5 prediction. One of them was that Xiaomi might be buying out NIO, and I already wrote in my Patreon community why I think that this is an unlikely scenario, in my opinion. Because first of all, I think there would always be buyers lined up for NIO, just because they have built so much when it comes to brand, to positioning, to the technology, to the user base. They are not a small company by now, and I think even legacy automakers would be interested in working with NIO and acquiring their tech and so on, especially of course at the bargain price as it currently is. But for Xiaomi, of course, I mean, Lei Jun and Li Bin, they know each other. been early investors. There have been public presentations where they have both been shaking hands and exchanging business and so on. That's not, I mean, the closeness is there. I get that, but I think if you think about why Li Bin founds this company and why he is going after that, after the big vision as a company founder and a visionary, you don't easily back down. Only in the case that NIO is really getting into some financial issues and troubles, I would expect that they are looking for a solution. And maybe their market cap in the future doesn't allow them for raising money anymore. But I said in other videos that NIO has plenty of other ways currently to raising money that's not about diluting shares anymore. Okay, so it would really be kind of a last resort to merge with the company or become a buyout target. But other than that, I still expect Li Bin to fully go after his vision. That's why he founded the company. That's why he's doing stuff like developing their own software stack, why he's doing the phone and everything, all of those things that making NIO different from all of those car makers out there. Your goal is not to become an employee of somebody else's CEO and just doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. Okay, that's when you're kind of giving up. So I'm really not expecting that, and I'm giving that a very low probability. Now, last but not least, we had the Model Y relaunch in China, and I have to say that's always personal, but of course, you always have those discussions around the design. That I personally was quite impressed by the design. It's becoming more looking like a Chinese design, and I think it's well done. I know there have been lots of critics out there saying, well, it's now looking ugly or nobody's going to buy that. But on the other hand, we had very positive news around some pre-orders or the order flows coming in. I have to say, I wouldn't give those orders not too much credibility. It's not really Tesla's kind of approach to leaking such information, other than if they have a new product like a Cybertruck or so on, and they are communicating how many deposits they had. But other than that, I think what is surely the case is that a big brand and a big model like the Tesla Model Y, which everybody knows naturally gets a lot of traction if there is a new model coming out. So it's not surprising that people are rushing to get the latest stuff, especially in China, where you buy cars like your smartphone. You always want the latest thing. That being said, I was not impressed with the specs and what has been included in this update in terms of the new functionalities, or if there's anything game changing with the new Model Y other than it's having a new looks and stuff. And especially with the price that comes in higher now, I'm not sure if that's a sustainable path here for the Model Y in the future. I'm expecting that they might cut prices again, given that it's not bringing any fundamental big upgrades to the technology of the car and such. But in another sense, Tesla has done that in a very smart way, now doing this over the Chinese New Year, fading out the old model in a period where there isn't too much traction, and then having a new model where people get excited about naturally, and then later on being able to cut prices. So I think the transition has been managed well for Tesla, and now bringing that also in comparison with the Onvo brand, where people are maybe afraid that the Model Y is taking away sales from Onvo. I'm not so sure about that. It seems like still on a technical fundamental side and what the car is delivering, the Onvo still might be the better option than the new Model Y, and especially now that the price is also not lower with the new Model Y. It's not that this smells trouble for Onvo. The thing is still that Onvo is the no-name here and needs some time for the marketing, and more people need to be able to really compare the two different offerings. So that's my opinion, and it's rather a chance for Onvo here to use a little bit of this Model Y hype and publicity right now. If they have an edge and find some marketing traction to jump on that, I think it could actually even benefit the publicity and and awareness of the model, not the Model Y, the Onvo, through the hype that Model Y can create. So that should be the task for the NIO management. That would be what we would like to see. So a couple of topics in 10 minutes. I hope you like that. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.